Hey, what's up guys? It's Corey here with Dapper Dollars. Today we're going to talk about how Yahoo Finance basically sold fake news to sell off the Vuzix stock and what the earnings call actually revealed about Vuzix and what their future is. You ready? Let's get started. So, this channel is all about using the online income opportunities we have with merch by Amazon and Etsy to build our income online and then invest this income in things like the stock market and real estate. If that sounds like something you're interested in, like and subscribe, and let's get started. So, if you read the Yahoo Finance heading about the Vuzix earnings call and what the expectation was and what actually happened with Vuzix, you might be a little confused. From what Yahoo said, it was Vuzix reports Q1 loss tops revenue estimates. Now, if you look at that on its face and the graphic that they have with it, it doesn't exactly look great for Vuzix, and the stock is selling off. And so if you look at just these few pieces of information, you can basically assume that something bad happens. Reports loss. That's really not a good thing. And then it says tops revenue estimates. Well, first of all, let's look at where Vuzix is right now and whether or not this is a, accurate title. First of all, Vuzix has been reporting losses for basically ever since it started. And the estimate for Vuzix was that they would have, I think, a 0.9 or 10 cent earnings per share loss. And then I think they were, as far as earnings per share, and then Vuzix reported a 12 cent loss per share, or somehow they missed the earnings per share estimate. That, however, was basically misrepresented in the heading of this Yahoo Finance article and the way that the company was portrayed throughout this article. It was basically implied that Vuzix was losing money and that they went into a negative territory. At least that's how I read it. If you say reports loss, it really seems to mean that you are not going in the correct direction. However, if your company has been at a loss for the last year or two and they're getting closer to not being at a loss, wouldn't you essentially phrase that as a positive thing instead of saying that the company reports a loss but beats on revenue? That really seems to paint a more accurate picture, or it would be a more accurate picture if they said approaching closer profitability and post revenue beat. That would essentially be a very popular title and a very accurate title as far as where Vuzix is and what they were doing. However, it is what it is. Yahoo Finance printed what they did, and the stock sold off. I mean, in this market anyway, even if they have reported the most amazing results like Apple and Amazon did, it's likely that the stock would still sell off. And so anyway, it's just another buying opportunity for most of us who are looking into Vuzix. But let's look at what the earnings call actually revealed about Vuzix, the future of Vuzix, and what we can expect as far as if this company is done for with this market sell-off or if it's something that's worth investing in to try to resurrect. So, first of all, we saw from this earnings call that there were record sales of smart glasses in Q1 of 2021 and that they had another record-setting beat for a single quarter revenue. The revenue for this, the first quarter of 2021 was $3.8 million, and it was up 156% year-over-year quarterly increase. So that means 2020 Q1 revenue, Q1 of 2021 revenue is 156% higher than Q1 of 2020 revenue, and that is a phenomenal number. And they reported a $3.8 million quarterly revenue, and smart sales increased 177% quarterly year over year. If you looked at that information and you put that information into a headline, it might paint a little bit of a different story, and it might tell the story that Vuzix is actually on track to do some pretty amazing things. They also addressed in this conference call that the exercise of cash warrants and the capital raising that Vuzix has done has put them in a very strong cash-heavy situation, sitting on about $195 million in their cash position. This is pretty phenomenal because Vuzix is not exactly a massive company, so to have $195 million on their balance sheet means that there are going to be things like research and development and potential acquisitions that could happen with this money. This does not mean that Vuzix is just going to sit on this cash if they are a wise company like I think they are. We might see some acquisitions in the future and definitely some greater research and development into the OLED displays and the micro displays that are in Vuzix technology, and we'll likely see hopefully a giant leap forward this time next year in the technology that Vuzix is bringing to the market and the products that they're offering. So right now we can see that they have a quarterly revenue earnings beat, and this is after a previous quarterly revenue earnings beat. So Q4 of 2020, they had the biggest quarter they had ever had. And so now we see in Q1 of 2021, they had another set of record-setting revenue. So we see that Vuzix is on a massive trajectory. And from what we can see in this conference call also, there was a massive, it is the acceleration of the acceptance of smart glasses technology and the acceleration of orders, even in a seeming to get to post-COVID situation. Because whenever they talked about in this earnings call, they talked about the fact that even through COVID waning and through people coming out of COVID and using smart glasses while they were in COVID, the businesses that are opening up now that COVID has lifted on a lot of states, they are the ones who are now ordering from Vuzix. So people who are in retail, who are in warehousing, and other enterprise sections like that, they are the ones who are now placing orders with Vuzix, because Vuzix has shown that they are very dominant and very good at what they do as far as providing active and accurate augmented reality glasses for people in these spaces. So Vuzix is setting themselves up in, number one, a way of proving what they have done to be effective, and number two, creating a buzz that other people would like to be a part of. And so these things are amazing for Vuzix. And the acceleration of the demand for these products is, really great for people who are investing in this company and people who are using this company's products. Now, we did see in the past that there was a $400,000 purchase of the M series glasses from Vuzix by an insurance company. And this is further proof of another vertical of where this company is going and the potential that it has. Because an insurance company using the M series glasses from Vuzix shows that they are able to go to a situation where, if you were in North Louisiana, that we have had a lot of storms recently. There have been some trees falling, there's been wind damage and things like that. And people who are insurance agents are able to go to people's houses and get accurate depictions of the damage done. Because it's one thing for a person to take pictures as far as doing claims for insurance. It is another thing and then relay that information to the person who's actually going to make the decision. It is another thing when the person who is making the decision has an agent in the field who is wearing the Vuzix headset and able to show the damage done to the home or the automobile in real time. This is a fantastic situation because it gives a lot more context to the situation, and it creates a better situation for the insurance company to make an accurate assessment of what needs to be done or what needs to be paid for. So the insurance vector is going to be another one that the Vuzix company can go into. And now what we look at with Vuzix in the last quarter of Q1 2021 is that they are dominating the healthcare field. Right now, from what they said on this earnings call, the healthcare industry makes up 25% of the Q1 revenues for 2021. And this is insane to have 25% of the overall earnings coming from one vertical within the Vuzix portfolio as far as what they offer. This is great and a little concerning because just like you don't want to be involved in a company that gets like 80% of its revenue from, reliant on one customer, you don't really want to have Vuzix be just great at this one field. We want because it reduces the total addressable market of Vuzix and limits their growth potential. We would love to see for Vuzix to expand to other market verticals, to expand into the enterprise space, to expand into the retail space. But it is great to see, and of course if we can get into the military space, that would be an insane amount of growth for Vuzix. But right now, they are dominating the healthcare field. They're providing an insane amount of value for these doctors and nurses, and they're putting in these glasses in ways that are beneficial to the patients, the doctors, and the people going into the medical field in the future, because they have been able to give the kids who are looking into the medical field the ability to see what the doctor is doing and increase the patient care by having a nurse or someone wear these glasses to check on the patients. And then for the doctors overall, because if there's a doctor in a third world country that does not have access to the proper medical training to do a lot of these complicated surgeries, instead they're able to be given or sent a $400 pair of glasses. They wear these glasses and they are able to go through a very similar surgery with someone across the world who has the medical training and can guide them through these operations. So Vuzix is creating a massive potential for disruption in the medical market in the United States and across the world. And that is a great thing. Disruption is amazing, especially if you're Vuzix. So we definitely know that they have had some great opportunities to work with some amazing companies, and I'll put those up on the screen. And these companies like Pixie and the other medical field companies are utilizing Vuzix in a massive way. We talked about Pixie in a recent video, and I'll link to that over here. And what Pixie does is creates a situation, or has a patented technology using Vuzix glasses, software, and QR codes to basically make a foolproof procedure for doing knee, shoulder, and hip replacements. This is going to drive the cost of medical care down because it is going to create efficient and quick surgeries. The doctors aren't going to need to have as much forethought and knowledge into this, because it really just requires the doctor to cut the knee open, scan the QR code with the glasses. The doctor then has the exact angles and directions to cut. They make the cut, sew everything back up, and then everything is good. And the patient's history is also within that QR code, so if it ever has to be referenced again, or the knee ever has to be worked on again, the QR code with the history of surgeries is there as well. So this is a great thing because it really limits the amount of, I don't want to say the amount of experience, but it limits the amount of, just unnecessary effort that is in surgeries right now, because right now doctors have to measure and do the degree formulations as far as where to cut on the knee whenever they're making those incisions. However, all those formulations and angles are pre-calculated for the doctors when they have the QR code on the knee through the Knee Plus system with Pixie. So this is again, a medical breakthrough that seems to be causing a massive amount of disruption and creating lower prices, because if the doctors are able to do surgeries faster with lower experience, that creates an abundance of availability, which then drives the cost of these surgeries down. And in a country like the US, where we have the most knee and shoulder surgeries than anywhere else in the world, and the US actually makes up 50% of the US makes up 50% of the overall knee and shoulder surgeries in the world. So in this one country, we have 50% of the knee and shoulder surgeries in the entire world. That's insane. It is a great market for Pixie and ultimately Vuzix to take on. And now, let's talk about the fact that they are still pursuing the Verizon EMT package and the military package along with that. This has been something that we have talked about in the last quarterly earnings report, and it's something we're likely going to be talking about in the future. Vuzix and Verizon, they said on the earnings call, are still working towards each other as far as what this is going to look like and when the rollout of this could actually be. They didn't give us any dates, they didn't give us anything, they just said that this is still in progress and that it is hopefully going to be soon, that a deal is reached, and that the EMT and Verizon software can integrate with Vuzix to create a helpful thing for the people who are being helped by EMTs, and for common people to get access to the Vuzix Blade in the future through Verizon. And so anyway, let's move on to the other phases of the major contracts that Vuzix has. They have access to a major defense contract, a major US medical contract, and the Jadebird contract that they have with the micro displays. And here you can see where all of these phases are, and right now Vuzix is in a seemingly complete phase of the military US contract, and all the others are still in a working relationship. But right now, we can definitely see that Vuzix is making progress, and if they are able to snag and get this US major defense contract, we will see some incredible numbers from this deal. And it would be amazing. It would be amazing if we could get this contract with Vuzix and that Vuzix would be able to use this revenue. But again, we're just going to have to sit around and wait. And also on this call, Vuzix talked about the intellectual property, the increase of over 100 or close to 200 patents, either pending or that are affirmed for Vuzix. This is great because it gives Vuzix intellectual property, which is another value that can drive up the value of this business. And they are also, pursuing, like we said in the last video about their quarterly earnings report, they're pursuing a SaaS opportunity to have a fully, 100% profit product that is able to be produced over and over again and issued with every set of Vuzix glasses. So they pay for the Vuzix glasses, and Vuzix has to pay to manufacture those glasses, but they also have to pay for a SaaS product, which Vuzix pays for once and then is basically able to take pure profit after that. So with all of this said, that is where Vuzix is. Revenue numbers are going up, the acceleration of acceptance is going up, and we are in a great spot for Vuzix in the future. I don't honestly know why Yahoo put this title out in a way that seemed like Vuzix was not doing well, or that somehow something had gone wrong. Yes, the earnings per share estimate wasn't exactly a match or a beat. However, the total revenue of this company is what we're concerned with as investors, because once the revenue is shown to be increasing over time, we trust the efficiency of the team within Vuzix to work with the efficiencies of getting the number that is on the top line of revenue all the way down to the bottom line of revenue, and then becoming a positive earnings per share company in the future. I'm still 100% sold on Vuzix. In no way do I think that any of this information that came out about Yahoo Finance discourages me from investing in Vuzix, and I don't think that anything that was in the earnings call suggests that Vuzix is going down anytime soon. If anything, we might be looking at another potential earnings beat in the future, because they said that they have Q2 interest or Q2 numbers already pouring in, and the adoption of the Vuzix glasses from businesses that have been shuttered in the past due to the 2020 situation. They are now ordering from Vuzix, so it is creating a whole new section of buyers. So I see this company is doing great. I still see a target of $5 to $10 billion as far as their market cap value in the future. Anything right now anything right now at this point is a steal of a deal for Vuzix shares, and I am really looking forward to what they're going to do in the future. So anyway, that's my overview of this earnings call and where I see Vuzix going right now. If you have any comments or any questions, let me know down below. I hope you guys are having a great day, and remember, someone is going to do something amazing every day, guys. Why not you? See ya.